All right, we are in week number 5, everybody. The time is flying and we all are having a good time. Hope everybody is having a good time watching and playing. We are once again with the same group. Graham is perpetually out. We don't know where he is. He might be hiding. I think he gets advantage on stealth because we haven't seen him in a couple weeks.
Hopefully the cart's still there.
I don't know. Where is the cart? Nobody knows. You haven't checked on the cart in a while. It might be hiding or gone. Let's just hope the cart's still there. In the meantime, we are all in awe and shock as Hemo has been launched off the side of the cliff in the cliffhanger from last week when the group attempted to fight and destroy Klarg, the bugbear. So in the final battle of this Cragmaw hideout event, we see that the group has finally attacked the Cragmaw outpost leader, and Klarg himself has come out of hiding to launch Hemo over the cliff. He is now dangling 20 feet off the ground, holding onto a rope for dear life, with barely a hit point left. So that's pretty crazy. But before we get started, I want to take a quick second and talk about one of the cool things that's come up in a lot of the forums that I've been seeing, and I actually emailed them and talked to them about it. So it's the North Dakota Autism Center is actually looking for donations for D&D stuff. So I'm going to put the address and link to them below, and you can go look down there for that. But we as a group are going to donate some D&D supplies for them. They're looking for miniatures and maps and books and notebooks, all the paper and pen stuff you would use for D&D, because they want to have their community members there participate in some D&D stuff. So we're gonna do that as a group, and we just hope everybody else who is watching might participate and do that too. If you can't do that, that's completely understandable. Don't worry about it. But what you could do also to help is you could like and subscribe to our video. Subscribing is actually like the most important thing. If you can subscribe to our video, that helps a lot. That helps the YouTube algorithm. I've been getting myself educated on YouTube and how it works.
That bell over there?
I think no, that's the other thing that just says subscribe. Yeah, the
it's
bell.
The notification bell. The bell is a notification.
Yeah, I thought I ordered Taco Bell. I was hungry. I hit the bell. I waited for like 2 hours and it never showed up. But I was notified when our video arrived the next week. So that's a benefit, I guess.
Wait, didn't you publish it?
Yeah, but I know it was notified shortly after, which was convenient.
Excellent.
I was still hungry though. Didn't have any.
Never got the delivery.
Yeah. Yo Kiddo Dungeons and Drones video. I want some Taco Bell.
A few little chihuahua.
Yeah, that's the problem. We need a chihuahua to introduce our videos. That we get a lot of people. Everyone likes.
Where's Emmett?
Where's Emmett?
Yeah,
we got to get Emmett out here. Next week, we are actually going to be off next week, probably. I think just with the way things are going with the 4th of July weekend coming up, we always publish the week after we film. So that would be the 4th of July weekend. We are probably going to be gone. So if you are watching this, just jump ahead 2 weeks and then we'll be there. So if you're wondering where the next video is, we'll be out that next week. So otherwise, let's get started and see what's going to happen to our great and honorable hanging Hemo. So I believe we have already rolled initiative and we are already underway. So with Klarg and his and Yimik standing there along with the other goblin that was hiding, we are in combat. And that brings us up to, what do you know? Hemo, the hanging. What are you going to do, sir? You're hanging from this rope. You're barely alive.
That's a good question.
How many hit points do you have left?
1.
Okay.
Just 1.
I'm glad you cut that rope and didn't land on the ground hard.
I would recommend not losing that one then.
Nope, I'm going to try to hang on to it. I'm going to use my second wind as a bonus action. So I'm gonna roll 1d10. I wonder, did that roll it in the chat?
It didn't. It just gave the description.
Okay.
Well, we all know what
Um,
second wind means now. Thanks. And it's not exercise equipment. I was really confused by that.
Is that
Okay.
what happens after you have
I'm a level 2 fighter, right? Yep. So 4 + 2, I get 6 HP back.
All right, you're not in dire straits anymore. You're a little bit better. You're as good as a goblin. Are you going to do that? Was your action? Are you going to do
That was,
that was your bonus action, right?
Yeah.
So you still have two
Um,
things you're hanging on for your dear life with this rope.
I'm just gonna crawl down the rest of the rope.
All right, just give me an
Um,
athletics check and please don't utterly fail.
All right.
You got this, man.
I'm pretty good at
Hey.
athletics.
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
What'd you get?
23
Natural 20.
on a
Well,
nat 20.
I think you did all right. You slid down the rope and land at the bottom safely.
That's a
There's
lot of
like
focus.
Cirque du Soleil, like spiral down.
Yeah, you're like,
No.
yeah, I get
That's what it feels like, but it looks awful because he's probably concussed.
All right, that was just a move. So you still have an action if you'd like to take it.
You do a third wind?
I
No
don't
third
have
wind.
a third wind. I wish. I think I might just wait at the bottom here.
Fair enough.
If an enemy comes down this rope, I'll swing at them, but I think I'm just going to wait, be quiet, and listen to what goes on up here.
Well, that sounds to me like you're doing a ready action then.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna
I'll
ready
an
action to attack anybody coming down.
If yeah, if
Fair
a goblinoid comes down, I'll swing on him.
right.
But I retrieved my other scimitar, so I've got 2 again.
Perfect. Hey, Colin, you're next.
Colin basically looking at the situation, realizing that both Finnis and I are probably going to be the next to get the onslaught, unless the goblins are going to go down the rope after Hemo. I'm going to basically cast Chill Touch versus Klarg the Bugbear.
All right, go for it. Let's see what Klarg the Bugbear has for saves here. Which type of save is it? Is it a will save?
Chill Touch, the save is.
Or sorry, I keep playing will because I'm lost
Actually,
on games.
Um,
Is it a hit?
yeah, I have to make a hit.
Go for it. What did you get to hit?
21.
21.
You will hit Klarg. And how much damage do you do to Klarg?
He will take 1d8 points of damage. I think that's under Chill Touch itself, isn't it?
Oh,
Oh, but only 1 point.
That's okay.
He can't heal until the I think
True.
end of his next turn.
Yeah, that's all. Some like you have bonus actions to get health back. He would not be able to do
Now,
that.
what I'm also going to do is take a 5-foot step backwards at this point.
you could
I don't-
take
you
more
got
than
it.
that if you want.
Yeah, I don't think
I know,
D&D
but
has a
I'm
5-foot
thinking that if
step.
I do this, I might basically be able to allow the other characters, if he kind of charges me. to
Fair
kind of
enough.
Get in there and get an
Oh
attack.
yeah.
Good job. All right, that Colin went. Waif, you're gonna go now. You see, Waif, that Hemo comes launching off the side, and his
Oh, yeah.
sword skitters down, clanking on the ground. He lands, somehow grabs the rope and slams into the wall, spiraling. He lets go and slides down to the bottom. And you see all of this happen right in front of you.
All right. Whoops, I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. She'll walk up to Hemo on the way. She'll
Holy
pull out.
shit. Where did you come from?
Demon
She
child.
She was hiding.
Yeah, right. She was hiding. She pulls out on the way there. She pulls out a vial, drops it at his feet, and then turns and goes back and runs back the other way.
All right.
That was 5, 10,
Hmm.
15.
That
so
vial would be
sh-
poison.
And she books it back around the corner. She can get to about there.
He,
This wave is poison. All right.
I mean,
Perfect.
acting like that, it's kind of hard to tell if it's a poison or a potion of healing.
Okay, so Wave has delivered, I'm assuming, a potion of healing at his feet.
It's the only thing I have on my sheet. So yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I
wait,
need to take
went.
one of those up.
that brings us to Finis. Finis, what are you going to do?
She's not big talker, but
Finis, you have this goblin who just came up out of nowhere last round, jumped out of the boxes and ran at you and tried to club you with
He's
his.
gonna take a swing right back with his warhammer.
Go for it.
Handed 15.
Armor class 15, you kind of go, you hit his shield, it bounces back and the shield slams into him. How much damage does he take from that?
4 points of bludgeoning.
Right. All right, he's kind of staggers back a little bit as you shake him to the core. That becomes their turn now. So immediately that goblin who you attacked, he's not going to take that standing up. He's gonna make sure you get he gets retribution. He's gonna hit armor class 19.
Oh yeah, that'll just get me.
Yeah.
What was my armor or initiative?
You were last.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's what I
had
thought.
3. So he's gonna do 2. He's gonna do 7 to you.
Ooh.
You hit him for 4. He turned around with his scimitar, slashes down and puts a nice big slash right in the side of your hand where your weapon is. Your hand, you kind of shake it off. Your hand's got blood coming running down. All right. In the meantime, this Yimik is going to run to here, and he's also going to attack you. He's going to get +2 to hit you. You don't make me kneel, you kneel. And I rolled a 18 with a +2, gives me a 20.
Yep.
Oh, another 7.
It's not looking good, guys.
All right, this
Oh, it's
goblin.
not.
This goblin's going to go 5, 10, 15. He's going to run up to Colin. Actually, he'll run to here, I think, taking the other route. And he's going to run up to Colin, who just cast a spell at everybody twice. And he's going to attack Colin. And I hit armor class 11.
Nope.
All right.
Bounces off the mage armor that he set on.
And as he comes running down the stairs, he almost doesn't see Gashar until he jumps the stairs, and he followed your eyesight. As he comes over, he kind of looks at you. He's a little bit surprised.
There's this massive 6'6" dragonborn standing there, like,
Yeah. And Sildar will get a turn this round too at the end of the round. That was them. Now, Klarg is not too happy about what's going on. So he is going to step over with his giant, massive hammer. Let's see what he's going to do.
he doesn't want to go inspect what he did. The splatter of the man that flew over the opening and landed on the ground, and just taking in all of that bloodshed.
The other goblin had walked over and told him that he survived.
That's right. He kind of went like, huh?
His round was walking over and looking over, and he was like, I can't believe he made
I
it.
can't believe the bugbear is believing him. I mean, think about all that bloodshed at the bottom.
So
of
Klarg has a couple options here. Unfortunately, Finis is the only one in the room. So he's gonna walk over to Finis with his hammer, and he's gonna do just a straight. He thinks that you're weak and you're gonna perish. He's not even gonna do anything special. He walks up and he says, "Priest, Klarg make you dead. I laugh at your god."
He's laughing at your god, dude.
He rolled a 19, so he did hit
Yep.
you. It's not looking good. I rolled 3
I will
really
go down.
good, really high rolls now. Ugh.
Who is
I
your
am down.
god?
I had 2 hit points. I go down.
Okay, he goes down, and as he does so, Klarg leans over and lets a wad of loogie spit right on your chest. He goes,
Ugh.
and then he looks
Ew.
down the hall. He can't quite see down the steps. He knows people are down there. He sees the light of Colin's thing, and he yells out, "Klarg is coming!" All right. That brings us to Gashar.
Apparently, Klarg is done hiding then. Ha! He awkwardly says, All right. Well, there's a goblin in front of me, right? I am going to take my two-handed quarterstaff attack right in his face. Just came down and attack my friend Colin, will ya? Got a 19 to hit
That will hit.
for 9 points of damage.
To this goblin in front of you.
Yep, just pop right in the face.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him the Axe of Doom, but because he's in a really awkward spot, I'm just going to slide him off to here for now.
I mean, that makes sense. He kind of crumples and slides down the steps to the side there.
Sure, I'll put him. How about here? Just because I think it'll just be out of the way. Yeah, you hit him and he kind of slumps over.
And then I'm going to walk up the stairs, and I learned that if I do a monk attack or like a monk weapon attack or an unarmed attack, I can have a bonus action.
But that
where
would
I
be
can do
during,
an
that would
unarmed
be
strike.
yeah, but that would be pretty sure that you got to take that without moving.
Well, we talked about one of them, which was the flurry of blows happening
Yeah.
immediately after, but this doesn't say immediately after. This one just says that you can make an unarmed strike as a bonus action, assuming I haven't already taken a bonus action on my turn.
I think it'd be the same as 2-weapon fighting. Can 2-weapon fighting, are you allowed to attack, move, and attack as your bonus action? I don't know. That's a fair question.
This is a good question.
Let's find out.
I don't know if it's stated
Klarg?
specifically in the wording.
Klarg would like to destroy you.
That sounds
There's
great.
no problem. And I think when you're doing 2 attacks, you know what? I'm going to say if you do 2 attacks in a round, can you move between the attacks? I think it would be the same.
Yeah, you can.
Then it would be the same. Yes, then you can move and get your kick in.
Okay.
Perfect.
I know this is putting myself into danger, but I just saw my cleric go down, right?
You actually probably didn't. It was down the steps, but you probably heard him fall.
Well, yeah, and then he
Klarg
I
announced.
heard a loogie, and then he laughed at my. He did laugh at
A
him.
big
out
loogie
loud.
to hear it. from that
Well, I'll
far.
walk up the steps. I'll see that, of course, and then I'm definitely not happy. So I will. I'll try
Yenik
to.
is in front of you, the leader.
Well, I'll try to. He took some damage earlier, didn't he?
But you all rested,
It's
so
been a
he's
while. He
probably
probably
rested
rested.
as well.
Well, basically, Yashar sort of like leans on his quarterstaff as we get to the top of the steps and just tries to do a swinging round kick,
Nice.
At this
Matrix
guy.
style.
a little bit Matrix style.
If
Monk
only you
unarmed
had
strike.
a whole bunch of guys in sunglasses around you, you could.
He did a 18 to hit and
Ridiculous.
5 bludgeoning. That's pretty.
5 bludgeoning
Pretty
does
solid.
damage to them. He
Yeah.
gets hit. He's going to take that damage, and he's not going to be too happy about it.
All right.
Perfect.
So I hope you all got my back because Gishar is now the vanguard.
All right, Sildar Hallwinter. He's going to run up beside you, right here, with
excellent.
the mace. Or it was a flail that you gave him. With the
Oh,
flail that Finnis has given him, he's going to run up and make an attack. Let me see what his bonuses are. I can
It
actually.
is good to have you by my side.
Okay, he's going to make his attack. Oh, he's going to nail him. And what does a flail do for damage? Is it a
believe
D6
it's
or a
a-
D8?
I think it's a D8.
Please look. Thanks.
Oh, I'm looking right now.
I'm trying to click on it to show it in the chat, but it's not coming up.
I'm
Is it
trying
a
to
plus
look up-
5?
I'm trying to look up the book.
No, it's not a plus
1d8.
5. 1d8. Thank you. All right. He walks up and he crushes Yemek, but he doesn't quite kill him. He hits him really hard, and Yemek kind of spirals and looks up, and he kind of looks at Sildar, who he had been beating many times, and he looks and he says, "You will be dinner soon."
Is
That's what he
Sildar a
says.
fighter?
Sildar is a commoner fighter, so he's like a warrior. So he's a higher level, higher hit dice commoner, I believe, is how they have him specifically portrayed. They don't have a class on him, I don't think.
Gotcha.
It doesn't have on the sheet that way, so I'm assuming that's what he is. All right, that was Sildar at the end, running up with his flail, bringing us to Hemo. Hemo, you're at the bottom of the ravine there, and you have at your feet a potion.
I'm gonna pick it up and look at it carefully. Does it look like a healing potion to me?
Well, I'm gonna give you either an insight check or an arcane check to identify it.
I've got a 2 Arcana, so let's roll that.
You're not
Okay.
sure. You look at it and you're like, I don't know what this is.
Um,
You hear from the
I'll probably
hallway. Drink it, stupid.
I'll
As
just
she
I'll,
runs
I'll
away.
chug it because I've got other things to do.
All right, I believe it's 2d4 plus 2. Please confirm. I think a healing potion does 2d4 plus 2, I think it is.
Yeah, that's a regular one.
Yeah. All right, and then you still have a move.
All right.
As you drink it, you feel the damage from that maul, that big bruise you have, feel less tender, and some of the tenderness and the stiffness goes away.
Damn, that was a good hit though. Just an astounding swing. Emo's gonna put one of his scimitars in his teeth, sheath the other one, and start.
No, one of
climbing
the other one's
rope.
on the ground.
Oh,
you
I
dropped
thought I
it.
picked that up when I got down here.
You didn't did you specify that? I'm gonna
That's
say
fine.
you can. That's okay. Please do.
Yeah, I'm gonna collect my other one and start climbing up the other.
You're gonna start climbing up the
with
rope?
both of them. Yeah.
Perfect. Give me an athletics check, please. Your
20.
your ability to climb is incredible. You're able to grab a rope. You're able to climb, slide down a rope. You're unstoppable when it comes to ropes. You
I
should
might
inclu-
actually learn rope trick at level 3.
You should probably include that as part of your when you're entertaining folks. You should have like a lasso. You can do like a.
There's also a spell called snare that uses a rope that I might try to get.
That's
But
cool.
I'm level 2. I'm not a wizard quite yet. I'm just gonna climb the rope.
Sweet. Okay. You climb. Is it half your climb speed on climbing a rope? I don't know. You tell me if you're at the top of the rope or at the middle of the rope.
I'm not sure.
All right. I'll let you look that up. That brings us from Hemo to Colin. Colin, you see that the two fighter type people have run ahead of you.
Right.
You know that Sildar is injured still.
And Gashar, you can see he's a little bit injured as well.
Oh, I found the listing
But
for
I can
climbing.
see that. Well, I probably didn't see before I moved. I will try to climb up to about here, see if I can kind of look out past their legs. Do I see that Finis is, laying down?
He's down. Yes.
All right.
Do
Do
you
like
want-
an animate dead thing where you can make him look alive?
No, I'm wondering
Secret necromancer.
from this kind of angle, can I basically still cast the chill touch cantrip through here?
You could. He's going to be. You're trying to try to get who Yemic, or do you want to try to get Klarg?
I could probably take Yemic out with it, but I think that Gashar and Sildar could probably take him. So I'm going to actually go after the big bugbear.
Now Yemic now the bugbear is behind a stalagmite and 3 people, so I'm going to give him heavy cover.
Okay,
It's very hard to see him. Just so you know.
fair enough.
Just go for the one right in front of us. Take him out, finish him off.
All right, I'll
So
finish him
let
off.
him move up.
All right. He also has cover,
Finish
but he
it.
has light cover. He
All right.
has what they call half cover.
Kill him.
All right.
Finish him. Fatality.
This is that same necromantic hand thing.
The
Mm.
chilling roll touch.
Chill
This is
touch.
coming to you, Yemic, the chill touch.
Yes.
Nice.
You had 15, and how much damage do you do to him?
You gotta click on the little back in the chat window. If you
Oh,
click on
okay.
the chill touch word, it'll bring up the damage roll
All
for you.
right, there you go.
All right.
Oh,
2
You
points.
should be able to
Not bad
set it
enough.
to auto roll damage.
That's a good thing though.
All right. As you hit him with the thing, with the chill touch, he looks up at Sildar and at Kashar, and he's like, "What a world! What a world!" He crumbles down, breaking and twisting.
Nice.
Ouch.
Good hit, Colin.
All right. That was Colin. That brings us to Waif. All right. So Waif, what are you going to do?
Mike is missing in action.
Ah,
All right. We'll wait a second for Mike to return.
we'll wait a second.
Yeah,
Ah,
we're still on the pause, right?
all right. He's
Hey.
back. Mike, it is
Sorry about
Waif's
that.
turn.
Thank you
It's
for
all right, it's
wafing.
Waif's turn.
I can move.
If you buy something from, if you sell something, do you go to the Waif fair?
Making fun of his name in front of him now.
Turn.
She's worth
Yeah.
her waif in gold,
Oh,
Yeah. That's better.
which isn't actually all that much weight, but
It's not wait for any more time.
She- I'll have to insert
A counter.
sound effect. Okay, go ahead.
Mwah, mwah. Wait for double move to there.
All right. Waif is cycling quickly. Let's see, where does she go to? All right. She comes running around that corner. All right. So Waif runs around. Let's take a look and see who is next here. Next in line is Finis. Finis, please make your first of your saves.
Death save. I will click the death save button. That's a fail.
We cannot lose Finis. All right. That's going to bring us to Klarg the Mighty, the barely scratched, and his goblin chum.
wait, what? What's his name?
Chum.
And he has never gone in the ocean, has he?
Nope.
Anybody have any sharks?
But strangely enough, chum and goblin means human food.
Fair. So we should just look threatening at him,
Yes.
threateningly at him.
So Gashar, he's running past Finis because he could care less. And he runs to Gashar, and he's going to try to attack and kill Gashar because he doesn't like dragonborn. He'd like to eat cut back. 14.
That'll hit. 13.
His repair is going to hit you for 5.
Oh, ouch.
Well, so looks like he runs up to Gashar, and Gashar is going to get nabbed for a little bit of damage.
Ow.
Meanwhile, Klarg, he looks over at Sildar, and he kind of tilts his head, and he says, "You should be food. Will be Klarg's belly soon." He's going to run up to here, and he's going to do a winding strike on Sildar. All right, so he runs up to you, or runs up to Sildar, and he's going to attempt to hit him. Oh, and he misses. He runs up, swings, and even though Sildar has no armor on, he manages to duck to the side as Klarg hits. Ooh, you slippery one for Klarg. Soon you die. All right. That was my turn, because I believe those are the only 2 people I have left on the board. And that brings us to Gashar.
All right. Well, I'm going to step into the room a little bit, sort of getting on in a protective stance around Finis here.
Yep.
I know that's putting my back to that bugbear, but we'll see about that in a second. And I'm going to take another attack on this guy here.
Go
Chum,
for it.
I believe you said. Pal. Buddy. All right.
Human food.
Oh, rolled an 18 for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. Well, let me check to see
Yeah.
what happens to him.
Is he dead, or would he like to have another kick to go along with that? Maybe a knee. He's dead.
All right. You
Okay.
hit him, sending him sailing into the wall as you smack him.
Excellent. Gashar will turn around then
Mhm.
and sort of, like I said, sort of taking a defensive stance on over Finis right here.
Yep.
And look, he'll just take stock at that point. Look around the room and see who else is around. Waif, are you hiding? I don't know if I'd be able to see with the angle. Oh, you're muted.
No, she is not stealthing at the moment.
Okay. I'm wondering if I'm pretty tall. I'm thinking I might be able to see her down there.
But she's also down the steps.
Yeah.
I'll say you barely could see her. Yeah,
In pitch
you were aware of
blackness.
her presence. How about that?
That's fair. All right. Yeah, he'll just call up. I left space for you. Wave, you. I left space for you.
Join the damage party.
Or Colin. And I'll take one more 5-foot step. Just again, sort of standing on top. I did this once earlier, but just stood on top of one of the fallen folks just to protect them. So
All right.
sort of straddle over them.
All right, good job. It's now Sildar's turn. Sildar is going to try to press Klarg using his flail. I keep cutting my die here.
I did give him a crossbow as well.
Yes, I'm aware. Thanks for
Okay,
reminding me though. I
Just
appreciate
reminding you.
Yeah, right now he's using his flail and he's going to try to strike at Klarg, but he misses, unfortunately. So that is now Hemo's turn.
So I looked it up. It does cost an extra foot per foot of movement to climb something. So with the rest of my move this turn, I could make it to the top of the 30-foot rope, right?
Yep, it's a 30-foot rope. So now you're at the top of the rope. So go ahead and put yourself probably right there, and you can.
Is this rock big enough for me to hide behind?
Yes, in fact, if you recall, Yimik, who ran underneath your arm and ran behind there, hid.
I'm going to hide behind it and prepare my 2 scimitars.
Perfect. Give me a hide roll, a self roll.
Roll high.
I got a 14.
All right. We will see what happens. I'll have to check his passive.
Is it aggressive?
He seems actively aggressive. He doesn't seem like the type to leave sticky notes or something. More the type to just kick down your door and tell you to do the dishes himself.
All right.
Break the dishes over your head.
I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
actually when you climb up, you see since Klarg was missed by Sildar, he steps back, and as you duck behind there, you see he actually does this kind of movement where he out of the corner of his eye, he looks and he goes, and you think he sees you.
All right.
With his passive, he just saw you at 14. All right.
Well, that was my action, so
That's Colin, or I'm sorry, that's Hemo. That brings us to Colin next.
All right, Colin is going to basically kind of move right about here, moving the light source. And I will use chill touch, and I'm going to basically shoot that again at the big bugbear.
All right, go ahead and give it a roll.
Just let it kind of come up. There we go, character sheet.
All right, what'd you hit?
Not very good. I got an 8.
All right, it kind of zips past you, and you have to almost move out of Sildar's way a little bit. You reach to kind of sling it around, to kind of curve at him, but it's just a little bit too wide, and it just flies past a Klarg. Klarg laughs. Klarg can't be defeated by ghost hand. Human, I shall eat you last. You are skinny. All right, that was Colin. That brings us to Waif.
Hemo looks
Waif
down
will
at
run
his full elf waist. Maybe he'll eat me last.
All right, what are you gonna do, Waif? You ran up.
I run up and shoot an Eldritch Blast at Klarg and miss.
Oh no! Kind of zips past him and hits that stalagmite behind him.
Little bits
You-
crumble down onto
You
Hemo
see,
and
he
he's like,
laughs. He's like, "No one can hit Klarg." All right, that is Waif. That brings us to Finis. Please make it now. You're down 1. You remember you can actually try to stabilize him as well as anybody else.
So I shouldn't like sit on him right now.
I'm just saying, you have options.
I've seen this in video games. Usually just sort of like squat on people.
Yeah, you crouch there. Sometimes you just put your hand on them and you look around for like 5 or 6 seconds and they just get right up.
Finish.
All right.
Did you
So
roll?
finish. What'd you get?
The death save,
Yep.
11, so that's a pass.
Yes. So finish. You are 1-1.
1 and 1.
Yeah. You're like a typical Vikings NFL start.
But there's no one point. Never mind. Keep going.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I mean, they usually win one game and lose one game. The whole season we're cheering and they always end up like 8-8. It's like every season. All right, finish.
That's better than a lot of the teams.
At least they're consistently inconsistent.
That's why I'm following these guys right here. They're winning.
8 and 8
Top of
gets you the wild
top of the
card.
division.
Aurora.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, that is finished. That brings us to my turn, and the only person left is Klarg. All right, and I'm going to give him a roll. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, there's 10 options here. Let's see what he gets. 2. Oh, Sildar. He looks at
Awesome,
Sildar.
Ben.
He kind of looks around at everybody and he's just laughing. He's like, I will kill, or he actually says, Klarg will kill all of you. Let me confirm his damage here.
Not if Hemo has anything to say about it.
Might have seen that die roll just now.
All right, this is what happens. He walks up to Sildar, and Sildar is dancing. He has the flail in his hand. You see, Sildar goes to kind of grab him. He literally grabs the flail and slaps into the wall, and then he takes the maul and he spikes it right on the top of his head. You see Sildar's head just kind of crush in, and he just falls down to the earth. You're not sure if he's dead or
No.
not, but he is definitely out of the fight. And you see Klarg look over at you, and he's like, twiddly hands soon pay the ultimate price. Klarg likes your flesh. You think he's threatening you as the next victim. All right, that brings us to Gashar.
All right. I'm gonna try something.
Please do.
I'm gonna step right in front of him as he was looking like he was gonna go threaten Colin.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do the dodge action. So I'm getting my quarterstaff ready and sort of spinning it in front of me.
Yeah.
And I say, why don't you try that on someone your own size?
Ooh.
First.
Ooh, all right.
So he just spins around his quarterstaff. So like I said, doing the dodge action, so that'll put him at a disadvantage for his attacks.
What I want you to do is give me an intimidate roll.
Okie dokie. Intimidation at a -1 because my charisma
Oh, goddamn.
still rolled a natural 20. So I got a 19.
Okay.
You scary guy.
We're gonna find out what happens on his turn. All right, Gashar, you're intimidating him with your
And dodging.
and dodging. Yeah, dodging's pretty awesome. Gives him a disadvantage on his attacks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. All right, that brings us to Hemo.
Not just him, if anybody, well, there's only him in the room, but
Right.
anybody I can see.
Perfect. Hemo. So you would get advantage to dodging Hemo too.
Yes.
Hemo, if you'd like to attack Gashar, there'll be a disadvantage. What are you gonna do?
Klarg hasn't been hit much at all, has he? He doesn't look bloodied.
Let's see. I think he's taken a little damage. He has taken little damage. Very, very minor damage.
All right. Well, Hemo's going to step out with his swords out. He's gonna take a couple of swings
Go for
with
it.
his 2 scimitars.
Hit him hard. Now, yeah, you gotta say he's actually pretty heavily
There you
First
go.
one's a
Armor.
23 to hit.
So he's wearing
slashing damage?
chainmail, just so you know. You hit him, and that definitely hits. How much damage did you do?
4 slashing damage.
All right. You hit him for 4.
All right. Bonus action for my offhand scimitar, 16 to hit.
That will miss.
Mm.
His chain armor is pretty rugged. You think you hit him, it kind of scrapes across his armor, and he looks at that thing scraping across the armor, and he with his maul, he kind of taps his armor and he says, "You need some of this. Klarg will make sure I wrap you in it when I eat you."
That's a horrible alternative. Yeah, it's gluten-free, but you'll break your teeth. I'm gonna action surge, and then I'm gonna also take the dodge action.
All
Well
right.
played.
Good job.
And we're gonna box him off and make him swing wildly at us.
Let the ranged
Nice.
attackers take him.
Perfect. All right. Way to go. Hemo went. That brings us to Waif. What are you going to do, sir?
Or ma'am.
Ma'am, what are you going to do, ma'am? Thank you.
She looks down at fallen Fennis and sighs to herself. She pulls out her last potion of healing, tips it down his throat, disgustingly tosses the vial behind her,
It shatters on the ground.
and 8 points of healing.
Finis, you suddenly pop your eyes open. You're staring up at a ceiling of stalagmites that are staring back at you, all pointed at you as if they're pointing at you, mocking you for your failure.
He's not happy with that.
All right, Waif, you also have a move action if you'd like to take it.
Wait, if you didn't slap him a little bit after that, you stupid cleric.
It crossed her mind.
Careful, you don't want to hear the bells too.
Nope, don't want to hear the bells.
She will move to there.
All right, you find yourself amongst supplies. You're sort of standing next to, and you see boxes and stuff rising around you, but you're sort of standing amongst them. All right, Waif. That Waif went. That brings us Finis. It is now your turn.
Finis will he's gonna just stand up,
All right,
shake
attack
himself
your movement.
off. He's pretty mad, so he takes another step over.
You're in a stalagmite, so
Oh, that's a stalagmite, not a campfire. Okay, I see it. Yeah. All right. Can he swing over to there, or is that too far with half his movement?
well, you move 15 feet standing, so do the movement there.
Technically,
That
Yeah,
is just
1, 2,
15
you can
feet
get there,
to go
yes.
around.
He's gonna come around, and he's just gonna take a big swing with his warhammer again. He's gonna hit for a
Nice.
20
All right, how much damage?
points
do you
of
do?
bludgeoning damage, and then he's also going to channel divinity for the touch of death,
Whoa.
and he's gonna deal an additional 9 points of necrotic damage as his eyes glow.
15?
Yes,
Oh my god.
Does seem
and
pissed.
he'll spit a loogie right back.
Ugh, these are some insulting enemies, aren't they?
All right. You hit it, you kind of spit on his head right in his shoulder, and he looks down and he kind of gives you this grunt like he's shocked that you hit him so hard. He is not happy about that. Right,
How
yeah.
tall are you? How tall is Finis?
He's like
6 foot.
almost 6 foot, I think 6 feet
Okay.
tall.
I mean,
All
there's
right.
2 like fighters in his face, and you come around beside him and just smack the crap out of him.
He is
Like you might have drawn aggro just now.
he is pissed at that priest who came around the corner.
Dang
He's
it.
gonna take his turn, and he's gonna deal in all the vengeance he can.
You can't hit
Let's see
me.
if my AC will
I'll
ever
just
help me.
dodge it.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see what this guy can do.
You sure doesn't want to attack the 2 people dodging?
I'm ready for it, bro. Come at me.
All right.
Finis rides the line between life and death.
As
He's just going
befitting the
for
death
it.
glitter.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is what he's gonna do. He is going to. He's gonna first of all attack you, and he's probably gonna. Yep, he's gonna hit you. The question will be, when he does this. I gotta see if this is actually a bonus action or not. I don't recall if it is. I think it's just on a hit. You learn 3 maneuvers.
If you're going to be walking the line of life and death over there, by the way, you should take a level of, what is it, 3rd edition barbarian,
Yeah.
so you can just keep going for a while.
Oh, is that the
Okay.
one where when they die, they just get temporary hit points and get to keep going for a bit?
All right, he's gonna try to knock you back, just like he did with so he gets a combat. So he's gonna attack you. He does his I think it does 2d6 his weapon, his maul. Yeah. He's gonna attack you.
Ooh, he might kill me right here.
He's gonna hit you for 9.
Yep.
Oh,
now I
sorry.
know.
It's not, I misspoke. It's 2 6s plus 3. So he's gonna
Oh,
hit you for
yeah.
15.
Super dead again.
All right, he drops you again.
You stand up, run over, smack the crap out of him, and then he smacks you again, and then you fall. Okay.
And then let me roll my dice. That's a lot. All right. You see, he goes to a frenzy, and in his frenzy, you see his wounds sort of almost revert. He's like, "Ah!" And he turns to look at the two of you now that Finis is once again down. You see that he looks back
at me.
He looks back at the two of you, and he's like, "Ah, now Klarg, kill you all." You think that he surged and gave himself a second wind, healing himself up. All right, that brings
Yeah.
us
Good
to
luck with that,
Gashar.
bud.
Well, since he's in the middle of his raging in my face, I think it's maybe a good opportunity to also open my mouth and rage back in his face with some breath weapon of lightning.
You're like, you're not taking this. Go
So-
for it. What did you hit? Hit it. Hit this guy.
Well, it's a line, so he's got to save.
What is my save?
Dexterity save of DC 12
He's not that great at those.
for half damage.
He will fail that save.
All right. Well, I rolled 2d6. It wasn't the best you could that it could have been. It was 5 points of lightning damage.
Ooh, that could have been so much better. He's
Indeed.
raging so much. You kind of blow in his face, but he's moving around. He's just kind of not even realizing he accidentally moved out of the way. He's flipping out. He's just like, oh. He's like one of those gym guys on roid rage.
Wait,
He's
did
not.
you make the save?
What's that?
Did you make the save?
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. So
But
it took 5 points.
he inadvertently, you only did 5 points. To
Yeah,
him.
it wasn't a ton.
So you kind of scraped him a little bit. He's just raging, and just by his happen chance of moving, you kind of didn't quite hit him well enough. So you did his 5 points, but you think that it wasn't that great of a hit. All right. That brings us to Hemo. What are you gonna do to this guy? He's flipping out on you guys. He's not a barbarian or anything, but he just
Sorry, can I? That was an attack, right? That was an attack action. Can I still do my flurry of blows then too? I can use my key point and do that, right?
no, it has to be with a monk weapon or a
No, that's just
finesse
an attack
weapon.
action. It
What's
says
that?
immediately after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend 1.
Yeah,
key-
flurry of blows spends
Unarmed.
key points. The
Oh,
monk
is-
extra attack is
Oh.
just with the monk weapon.
I see. Yeah. So you're doing a flurry of blows, right? But
Yes.
that's after an attack
after an
action,
attack
right?
action. Yes.
I
Oh.
don't think breath weapon counts as an attack
That's a good
action
question. It
because
might
it
not.
actually won't make you visible either.
Doesn't?
No,
Weird.
that's actually so you can actually do a breath weapon, and I don't think it's considered an attack action.
It is. It says you can use your action to exhale destructive energy. Your bronze, blah 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 blah.
I mean, I'd call it a spell-like ability.
Right. It's more like casting a spell, so that's not considered an attack action.
Okay.
They're thinking of they're saying a melee attack action there. Okay, so so you're not able to do that, but it's still awesome. Unfortunately, that wasn't the greatest damage, but great time to use it anyway. Sometimes that
Maybe
happens.
I'll be able to next round.
All right. So that was Gashar bringing us to Hemo in this fight for your lives. You're both probably getting low on hit points. He just does a mass. When he hits you, he hits for massive amounts of damage.
Well, I'm gonna hit him for hopefully massive damage.
Come
Here we
on.
go. Two scimitar attacks. I've got a 24 for the first one and a 14 for the second.
Oh, that is awesome. The 24 will definitely hit. The 14, unfortunately, does not.
Okay, I deal 5 more points of slashing damage.
5 points of slashing damage. All right, you nick him really hard. And he winces at that. He's like, oh. You see, he's looking a little shaky, but he's trying to hide it. He's just kind of Klarg will not fail. King Groll will be my victory. I will share my victory with King Groll. Ah. All right, that was Hemo. That brings us up to Colin. What are you going to do, Colin?
All right. Kylan is going to once again use his cantrip of Chill Touch.
All right.
And when he does it, this time he basically tells the big creature, he says, well, thank you for telling us who your boss is, because then we're going to let him know where to find your corpse.
All right. How much damage did you hit him with? What I should say, what armor class did you hit first? I apologize.
I hit armor class 18.
That will hit him.
And I did 2 points of necrotic damage.
All right. You kind of graze him a little bit. Oh, I take it back. You did not do it because you actually he has cover. I'm gonna take that damage back because his armor class is too higher. So your 18 still missed him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You kind of ricocheted up. It kind of hit his armor, but didn't quite do enough to actually affect him.
Does he have cover? Was it for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that he would be able to see from side to my side because the other guys.
It's just like a
oh.
wall, like a hard wall. If he was in this area where it was a 45-degree angle, he wouldn't not have the cover.
Knowing that, what
But
I'll
he'd
do
have to go
is
down the steps. Then,
my
right?
formal time is I will walk to there.
Yep. Now there is actually a stalagmite in your way, though. I'll
Oh.
let you know that.
Okay. But I did it.
Yeah.
Is it a fire?
What's that?
I kept thinking it was a fireplace too, because it looked like it had like an edge.
It might be in. I don't know. I've been playing it as a stalagmite, so
You
we're gonna
did
play it
mention
as
that earlier.
we're gonna
Mentioned
play it as a
earlier.
stalagmite. How about
Okay.
that?
Okay.
Even though the map may say, maybe I missed. There's a lot of stuff going on the board, so I could have misread
Sure.
it. So I'm gonna call it a stalagmite. That way, it's just fair for everybody. All right. That is. Sometimes when you make mistakes, as long as you consistently make a mistake, it's fine. Lessons learned. That's my D&D lesson for today. Children, if you're going to make a mistake, make sure you consistently make a mistake. Okay.
Well, rule number 1 is the
And we just
DM
keep
never
doing it.
makes mistakes, right? Even when they do.
Yeah, that's probably not a true rule, but I appreciate
We'll go
the
with it.
sucking up. Sucking up, sir. All right, that was Colin. Good job. That brings us to Finis. You're gonna make your first round.
It all resets, right? I don't have to.
Yeah, your very first round.
Okay.
You're at 0-0 right now.
That's a
Yay.
success.
Nice. You're at one win, no losses, which would be
Fantastic.
probably more like a Green Bay Packers start. They're still going to end up 10-6, but they'll start winning. All right, that's Finis. That brings us to Klarg. Now, neither of you are dodging now, right?
Dang.
Guess not. Nope.
All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, Gashar.
Dang.
Oh, Gashar, he's going to hit you.
Did I mention dang earlier?
Yes. Yeah, it is 2d6. He hit you for 10. Are you still up?
Nope. Kashar goes down.
Uh-oh.
He looks back at Hemo and he looks back at Hemo and he almost dismisses Colin as this he's worthless. He's not really sure if he's tracking wave so much, but just in the immediate area. But he turns his head to you and he says, He says, "You should have stayed dead on rope. Now I will just cook you here.
I never
Klarg
died.
will destroy you."
I never died. I caught that rope. I climbed down.
All right, that brings us to Gashar. Please make your first round.
You hit me good, but not that good.
Did you skip me?
I apologize if I had skipped you. It is actually your turn. I did skip you. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Waif's just hard to see in the corner back
I
there.
know, right? I hit a 21 with my Eldritch Blast.
All right. That was a great and mighty hit. What happens to him as he perishes?
For 13 points.
Woo.
because there's
What
additional
happened to him as he
damage.
perishes? What happens to this guy?
She steps forward and just says, enough, and shoots him. And the blast catches him right in the head and just turns his head to like just vapor.
Just blows his head right off.
Blows his head right the fuck off.
The headless corpse of Klarg the Conqueror, Klarg the Cragmaw Outpost leader, falls to the ground on his knees, his maul still trying to somewhat swing for a moment as he lands onto his knees, onto his back.
Little smoky tendrils coming up from his fur where his head used to be.
Oof.
All right, we still have
And
some
you-
things going on though.
Yes.
So that is Gashar. What did you make your save?
No.
Oh, Gashar
My
failed.
close roll was not
Wait,
good.
that's a natural one.
I
Did you
was.
just die?
No, I think it counts as 2.
Check and see. It might count as 2. Please give me that. We'll come back to it. Hemo, it is your turn.
Pretty sure it's not an instant death.
Shudder. And then,
Well, since the head, I would have juggled his head if it came off, but it got
Destroyed.
vaporized.
destroyed. So instead, I guess I'll turn around and try to stabilize Finis.
All right, what do you need to do? You need to make a medicine check.
I think that is a medicine check. Oh, can you not use medicine untrained?
I'm unclear. Let's take a quick look. Finis's life is on the line here.
It's a wisdom medicine. A wisdom medicine check lets you try to stabilize a dying companion.
You may just have
2
lower.
failures.
Yeah, I have.
2 failures
Okay.
for me.
I'm not very good at it, but I can try. I just, I think the DC for it is in death and dying.
For what?
The DC for using a medicine check to stabilize
stabilizing?
a dying person, I think
Yeah,
that
it's a-
DC is
197.
And wisdom
10.
or medicine. It's really medicine check.
Make a 10.
all right.
Come on, stabilize.
I don't know how to
Hey.
do this. I just know how to cut them.
Yes. Finis once again finds his life for the fact that he's a death cleric. He's not too anxious to get there.
It's how I commune with my god. I just go ahead and ride the line.
Hemo like slaps you awake. Are you hearing the bells? What? Come on.
Well, I don't think I regain consciousness
You don't. He's still
until I
unconscious.
spend hit dice,
All right.
which
that
I don't
was-
have hit dice to spend until a long rest. So
Well, he's not
Yeah.
hearing anything.
Looks like you're
right
going to be
now.
taking a little bit of a break here in the cave, huh? That was
Seems
Hemo.
like it.
That brings us to Colin. Now you do have two companions who are down right now.
Right. Colin will move to here. And I reach into my
Actually, that is one of the persons who is up now. So you're gonna want to probably go over to Gashar
Right.
or Sildar, either one of the two.
all right.
Yeah, Gishar's in bad spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gashar is down 2 right now.
He's
Does
twitching.
someone want to
on
check
the
to see
ground.
if Sildar, just real quick,
I'll
check
go over
to see
to
if
the
Sildar still
Dragonborn.
has.
I'll reach into my
One moment.
my pouch, take out a flask that we identified earlier, and I will basically give him my healing potion.
All right. Please make a roll. It's 2d4 plus 2. I believe that's the number. For some reason,
Okay.
that's the number stuck in my head.
This one I
2d4
think was
plus 2.
actually in a potion of greater.
You're gonna give him the
Oh.
greater one.
That's the
Well,
only one I've
okay.
got.
That is great. Thank you.
It's greater than great.
I was hoping somebody would hit that softball.
It's not doing it.
It's 4d4 plus 4.
Ooh. I can roll it with a script unless you want to try to do it on the.
4d4.
You got it. You got it.
And then plus
So
4.
14, so 18 points.
All right.
Nice. Wow. That's
You,
almost completely up.
You used that. You used your 18. You used that greater healing potion to good work. He was gonna die here.
He stops shaking and he kind of looks. His eyes pop open. He looks at you, and grabs your head, gives you a kiss. Yes.
With his lizard lips.
With the reptilian thing.
And then on his next turn, you'll see him basically do one of those like monk jumps up onto his
Flip up.
feet.
A
Nice.
kip up.
So
Way to
go
go.
ahead and
Kyle.
roll your last death save there, Dan.
Yeah.
Just see what happens.
What would you have got?
Oh, you want to see how bad he died? Bet it's a 3.
Would you-
Oh,
you
he
would have
was-
died, Dave. You saved. Colin saved his life because the
You were a
chances
goner.
were not good
Not
for him.
good. That first roll with a 1.
Oh, that was so bad. I was like, uh-oh.
Thank you, Colin.
Because that would have been my medicine check.
What would have been yours?
A 2.
2.
2. Oh no. All right. Wait, that is now
saved
your
him.
turn though. I'll take the. You can take the X off of your character too. I'll take care of that. Boom.
But all right.
All right, not dead.
I go over to Sildar and she's like, is he alive?
He is not
dead?
alive. He is dead.
He's dead. Oh,
He's
God,
dead,
I'll
dead.
use my time. I take my
Dead.
crossbow and my quiver back.
Sildar has perished.
Oh,
He was trying to defend you as best he could, but he took an hellacious amount of damage from
Hey,
Klarg, the Cragmaw outpost leader. That was a brutal
good for
fight.
him for sticking it out though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He rose
Brave
up. He wasn't
man.
gonna just wait outside. So
well, if he had waited outside, he might have still been waiting outside.
what's that?
He hit him once, didn't
He did hit him once. Yeah.
And he killed a goblin, I think.
I
At least
believe
did damage on one of them.
you might have. I don't recall, but yeah.
I think me and him and then did most of it, and then I think Colin finished off.
Greatest
Going
thing
off.
is you go back and watch the video. You can just rewind it. You can
It's true.
rewind it and get to this point, but then don't rewatch it again because you end up in an endless time loop, and that would be weird.
Wait, I think I saw this scene on Spaceballs. When will then be now?
Okay. So yeah, unfortunately, Sildar, the person who had come all this way to look for his companion Iarno, unfortunately, won't be able to go continue his quest. So he had come all this way because Iarno Albrecht had come a month earlier to try to set up a Lord's Alliance outpost here in the town. So you don't know what happened to Iarno, and you do not know what happened to Sildar. So it's unfortunate or you know what happened to Sildar, I should say. He perished. So that will take us. And is there nobody else's death or dying, right? Everybody else is up. So that will take us out of combat. What is it you'd like to do at this point?
I guess search the rest of the room.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick Klarg and ask him where the castle is.
He doesn't even have a head.
That should have been a fire pit, by the way. You were right, and it could have caused fire damage if you would have ran through it or not. He could have
Sure.
knocked you into it,
Hmm.
which I did not play that right. Unfortunately, that's my fault. There's a lot going on, so I apologize. All right.
Colin,
Yes.
get out of the fire pit. It's fiery.
Oh, am I standing in it?
All right. I'll remind you again. Sacks and crates of looted provisions
Actually,
are
why?
piled up in the south end of this large cave.
Should we go over here and just check them out?
Yeah, the piles of sacks and
Was-
crates they can provide half cover if you're behind them, just so you know.
Okay.
Most are marked with the images of a blue lion.
Oh, we've seen
Mhm.
that before.
Yeah.
I have collected 2 of their badges.
So
Also, though, hidden amongst the supplies as you're moving them around, you can see an unlocked chest is there.
Well, of course we're opening.
Go on.
Who's gonna open the unlocked chest and who's gonna be making the save?
Maybe I'll
Hemo
check to
breaker.
see that it's trapped or not.
How are you gonna do that?
Check for traps.
I'll look for wires.
All right, give me
Oh,
a investigation roll.
I got a 21.
All right, you look at this box all around. You're very careful. You're kind of looking underneath it and everything. To the best of your untrained knowledge, you probably could not juggle this very well, and there most likely is not a trap on it.
Well,
What's the roll on that?
I got a
look
20, 21.
No. What is
I'm-
the skill behind looking for that?
It's a
I'm
you roll
pretty sure that
against
would be an
investigation
investigation.
roll.
Is it investigation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a trap?
Yep. It's an int check, so yeah. All right, we'll just open it. I'm confident. Hemo's
All right.
confident in his brain, even though others might not be.
There's a piece of paper inside. It says boom on it.
Ah,
That was the greatest thing Dave did. When he gave us a box, we opened the box. It said, "Who is the one who opened the
Like a
box?"
physical box. He gave us a physical box.
A real box. You open it up, and there was a paper that said "boom." He's like, "What? Who opened it?" Because they had. I remember them being very questionable. Like, it
Oh,
says
Lindsay?
"boom." What does it say?
it was Lindsay.
yeah.
that was Lindsay.
One of our
was
friends
Lindsay.
opened the box, and he looks at the paper, and he says, "Boom."
Boom,
we
what
all
is that?
Laughing because he was like, "Oh." That was fantastic. All right. You open the box. You see Klarg has treasure chest containing 1,200 copper pieces, 220 silver pieces, 2 potions, and it looks like a jade statue of a frog with a tiny golden orb for eyes.
Whoa.
Hey, you found my
gonna-
frog.
This isn't your frog. No way this is
kidding.
your frog.
That was a joke.
I pocket the frog.
Are you
How
gonna
much-
try to sleight of hand it so that they can't see it?
No, not really. I'm just gonna take the frog.
You see, he
Uh,
picks up the frog, he looks at it, and he just sticks it in his pouch. The
Well,
chest is
how
pretty-
much of this gold is here?
Well, as I said, there's 1,200 copper pieces.
That sounds heavy.
Excuse me. 220 silver pieces and 2 vials or 2 potions.
I'm gonna see what the potion is.
Do they look at all like the healing potion I drank?
They look
earlier?
very similar. You might guess that that's what they are.
I'm gonna pick one up and give it back. Give it to Wave.
All right,
Thanks
wait.
for thanks for the
potion
potion earlier.
Got a 14 Arcana check to see what it is.
You're not sure. You're thinking it's probably a healing potion, but you're not 100% sure.
All right.
It could be something else. Like it could be, maybe it's a greater healing. You're not sure. You're like, I think I know what it is. The check is for 50. You need a 15. So, but you can during a rest identify them.
I know about as much about this potion as you told me about the last one.
Okay. So
I
you have
give
these
to
2
knowing what
potions.
it was.
All right, what are you
You
gonna
gave it
do?
to
I'm
me,
assuming
not
somebody or everyone's gonna dig in and take some of all these coins. There's a lot of coins here, but their value is, they are copper and silver.
Yeah, 1,200 copper. That's like 1 gold.
Not
Right.
quite.
12 gold.
12 gold.
Although if inflation keeps going the way it is, maybe that's the case.
Cheers.
I filled up a tank of gas. How much does it take? 1,200 copper, please.
Yeah.
Well, how much silver is there?
220 pieces of silver.
There's 4 of us.
4 of you,
5
1,
of
2,
us,
5
right?
of you, 5 of you.
5 of us.
Hemo takes 20 of the gold.
There is no gold.
Sorry, 20 of the silver. And
You could take 40 of the silver.
I got
that-
this.
Does that divide by 5?
He holds up the little frog. I'm good with this. Can I tell what it is?
What do you mean?
The jade frog with the golden eyes?
Yeah, it's a well, let's see here. It is. So it's a frog with golden orbs for eyes that is made out of jade.
Does it seem like it's got some sort of magical effect to it? Is there any obvious way to like activate it?
You don't see anything written on it. You don't see any instructions. If there is one, they didn't. Klarg maybe threw out the manual. He's not the type of person who would read the manual. He's more like the person who like picks up the remote and just gets upset that the remote's not working the right way. Maybe he would actually return the jade statue. Klarg don't think this work.
But sir, this has been smashed. Yes, it does not work anymore.
Unfortunately, Hemo, you don't have any way of detecting it is off the cuff right now. Now remember, if you spend some time with it, you may be able to identify with it or during a short rest or long rest. But
looks like Hemo says it looks like a noble's paperweight or something. I'll take this little bit of spending silver, and you guys can all have 50 of that. Take whatever copper you want.
So I saved your life. And
Yeah,
killed
that
it.
potion was super helpful.
And I killed it. And you get the frog.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Can I see?
Hemo presses the two golden eyes at the same time, like two buttons.
All right. Do you say, "Hey Mo"?
No, he goes, he thinks about it for a second, thinks about giving the frog to Waif, and then just on an impulse, just decides to try to turn it on.
All right.
The first thing he knows how to do.
Most of
He
the
presses the two eyes.
when I try to turn a frog on, I first take it out to dinner, and then
There's a couple of golden buttons that true shiny
But
reflexes are in full.
if you want to
full.
go straight there, hey, I mean, each their own.
Touch my buttons.
You're trying to push. Yeah, you're gonna try to push the frog's buttons. You're gonna raise the ire and get a bunch of Twitter rants for you'll be canceled for pushing the wrong buttons. You hit the buttons of the frog, the eyes of the frog, and nothing happens.
I'll toss it to Waif. See, it doesn't do anything.
All right, Waif, you now have the jade frog with the two golden orbs.
I go into the chest and just grab the other potion.
That's
Nobody's
perfectly
taking
fine.
it.
Unless somebody else wants to try to stop you.
Alan,
Yes.
Colin is going to go over it. There seems to be on the floor something that looks like it could be a bed or like a mattress or some sort of like covering.
Yep.
Is that what it is? Is it a bed?
Yeah, it looks like it could be like it's bedding. It's what they or somebody sleeps on for sure.
All right. Colin is going to basically see if there's, sheets or a cover or something like that. And he's going to see if he can remove that off the bed.
Sure. You're easily able there's like part of a fragment of a blanket.
Okay.
It's probably reeks.
It's okay if it's smelly. He's
Yeah.
basically going to go over and see if he can help put Heldar on it and
Okay.
then kind of wrap him in the blanket so it'll be easier to carry out.
Okay.
And when he gets over there, he looks up at Waif and he says, "Excellent job."
You
And
as
then-
well. We both are standing. They all fell down.
He basically just kind of tries to wrap the body as best he can.
Okay. All right.
I did fall down, but I got up again. Never going to keep me down.
Awkward but true.
He totally ignores the fact that she didn't get anywhere near him, but
Of course,
Yeah, like from the
that's
back
okay.
line.
We should bring some of these supplies back as well. If there is food in here, people could eat that.
All right, let's see if they tell me what those supplies happen to be.
For the blue lion.
Now, was Gundren, do we know if Gundren was carrying any of the supplies? I know we were carrying a cart of stuff, but
No, as far as you know, he left with just the satchel and his regular traveling equipment.
okay.
That's the only things that you saw him leave with. Now, what if he picked anything up on the way after he left town? You don't know, but that's what you saw him leave. So the supplies, it just says merchant supplies. So there are various types of goods, like maybe some bottles of rum or ale or wine, probably a lot of dried goods like bags of rice, that kind of stuff. And they all have the Blue Lion logo on it.
Well, yes, Kashar will grab a couple bags of the rice. He'll grab a couple bottles of wine, just basically throw it in his backpack. He's like, I will distribute this to the hungry.
You can take as much of this as you want. Remember that Colin actually has a wagon.
Just overload myself and bring it back and put it on the wagon.
All right. Is there anything, you're here, you defeated these monsters. Unfortunately, Sildar did not survive.
Maybe he was a monster.
I'm going to make sure that he's wrapped up and then we'll carry him out. Perhaps maybe somebody will know of his kinfolk.
All right.
So they can bury him.
All right.
Maybe he's got like a letter on him. Could I search his pockets?
Certainly. He does have, he'll have a letter on him. It's actually from the Lord's Alliance in Waterdeep. And it's instructing him to go to Phandalin and find Iarno Albeck, who has not reported in almost a month.
Okay.
I suppose I'll take that letter.
Okay. It has letterhead in a broken seal from the Lord's Alliance.
so did we look at his weapon?
The weapon that who has?
Klarg's weapon?
Klarg
Yeah.
has a maul.
Yeah,
It's like a
Is it-
sledgehammer. Like
It's like a giant sledgehammer, and anyone's free to take it.
Does it look? It looked pretty intimidating.
Well, it certainly, I think it dropped 3 players. So
There's probably some blood caked on it.
I
you know?
think it looks very intimidating.
I mean,
Is there anything special
Finis
about
might
it?
take it, but he's out cold.
You're not sure if it's special. You could take it. It doesn't look any special though. There's nothing about it that says, oh, I'm a magic item. That doesn't glow. It doesn't have any shimmering. It doesn't look exceedingly without wear. It doesn't say to you off the hand, but I will allow you to give me an Arcana check to see if you believe that it might be magical. I'm not sure what the rule is. Is there a way to detect magic using Arcana?
You can make like an Arcana check, but I think to detect magic, you just gotta know the spell.
The Arcana check is technically more of a knowledge thing. So
Right.
if you
There are spells to detect magic.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm going with. So what did you get for your Arcana check?
22.
So nothing in your knowledge about an item or anything, nothing in this item tells you that it could be a magic item. There's nothing in your lore. This thing isn't a legendary weapon or anything like that. But there are a number of common magic items that themselves are magical that your Arcana knowledge might not detect.
Yeah,
So
no
you
problem.
can carry it with you, or you could leave it here.
And what of the armor it's wearing?
It's wearing a chainmail armor, true chainmail. Klarg was wearing chainmail armor. You're welcome to take that if you want. It's rather heavy, but it
Didn't
might be. worth
Sildar
it.
want some chainmail?
He had his
Sildar's
own.
dead.
He had chainmail. He was asking you to find his.
See if the chainmail on Klarg has like Sildar's name on the tag.
You think it isn't. You think that the way he's wearing it, it looks like he's probably been wearing this a long time.
Ooh,
It's been you know that Sildar has
Probably
only
a
been here
right
since
guy.
yesterday. If assuming that he didn't make any more time, he had left one day before them, but their horses move faster, so it was probably more than a day. But you know he's only been here for a day or two, Sildar. So in the armor, you can tell he's been wearing it a lot longer. All right. Anything else you want to do while you are in this? Or do you want to take a rest? Or do you want to go back out to the cart?
I'm gonna probably need some help to get Sildar out, and then maybe after
Bloody in here.
we can come back and get Finis and carry him.
I
You're
mean,
still unconscious.
Sildar's just a human. He shouldn't be that
Dennis
difficult.
is still out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Finis isn't too large for a fighter to take him
I'm sure I
take
can
him
carry
out,
one.
right?
Is there
Yeah.
a way to like do a medicine check to do like a pointed damage back to wake me up?
Don't know of
I
any
believe
way
so.
that you could do that. I think you have to just wait until you rest and heal up.
I propose that we stay here a night. There's no more threat. It is well protected from the elements.
With all the goblin corpses and
Could throw
Shove them over the
all this
hole there
stolen
down by that
stuff.
rope.
I'm gonna give
I was gonna suggest that does sound kind of fun.
I'm gonna give everybody a
So-
survival roll.
So Wave does not want to wait here. This
This place is
ridiculous.
creepy.
So
So at least get out into the woods. We've got a cart, right?
she
I have a
pours that potion down Finis's throat.
All right, that potion that you just gained, finish. You are now standing.
It was a healing
Alright.
potion.
Yeah. Finish. You
Was
you
the,
restore 2d4 plus 2 points of hit point damage from that potion.
Hemo looks at the other potion from that box. Is
10
that
points.
Nice.
It's pretty
10
much the
points. I'll
same.
take
Max
So
healing.
you're
All right.
thinking it also is a potion of healing.
I propose we go back to our carts now.
What happened? Who? What?
You
You
sit up and you
got
see the headless
rocked.
corpse of Klarg.
we were getting ready to fight him, the two of us, and you came around and he got very angry at that, and you got rocked.
Well, it's bound to happen now and then.
He's
We
like,
could have dodged him.
were you disappointed that you
That's
didn't
all
die?
I'm saying.
Maybe this time. Maybe
It's
not
Cleric.
next
He's
time.
like, I keep coming back. It's like Groundhog Day for him.
Curious. Yeah.
I'll help
I
you.
want
carry
to
Been
look
this.
like
electrocuted,
that.
burned.
Hey, stay with us. You've got a job to do.
I think we can get Sildar out, and then probably once we're outside, we can see how many hours of daylight we have. We can probably get some of the cargo out.
All right, you man it. Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna leave? Are you leaving?
I'd
Yeah.
love to do that. I don't think there's anything else for us to find here.
All right. So congratulations are in order because Colin is now level 2. He's playing with the big boys.
Woo.
All right. So congratulations. I'm sure Flander would congratulate you as well, but he's watching the cart and he's an unstoppable force, meaning an immovable cart.
Fair enough.
So congratulations, Colin. Let's continue. We are going to be looking at the group here, trying to take supplies out. You've managed to, why don't you just describe to me what you're going to do? You're going to meet everybody back at the cart.
Yes,
Yeah, now that everybody's up and moving again, other than Sildar and
I think Sildar and Colin were going to carry.
Colin is-
Sildar is,
and Gashar. We're going to carry Sildar.
but Colin has got this brand new ability. So he sits down, he takes his book out, he takes some little stuff from his thing, and he basically casts Tensor's floating disc. And so this basically, it's probably, maybe half the size of this table lid, kind of a scalloped bowl shape.
Like 4x4 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of almost like a semi-transparent.
4x4 feet versus meters.
And
For our international listeners, we got a lot of those.
And essentially you can load the corpses, and we can basically load a bunch of the cargo and stuff. And then we can basically haul it out. And this will last for a while. And when we continually do this, we can basically just.
Well, it's 20 minutes to the cart and back. So it will last you one haul, but you can spend the next several, I'm going to say it's going to take you 2 hours using the floating disc and moving it to get the goods out of here, back out to the cart.
Fair enough.
All right. So you use Tensor's floating disc, you haul a bunch of it. Everyone takes some, you get the first round out. You're able to do several rounds, 2 rounds with this, and then before your Tensor's floating disc fails.
Okay.
And at that point, you have to carry the remainder out. You walk out, you see Flander. When you first walk out there,
Yeah,
Flander
there.
is laying on the wagon on top of supplies. He kind of lightly plucking his strings. He's just sort of humming a tune to himself. And he looks over, he goes, "Hey, you're back." And he sits up.
I am glad you're not dead.
"Why would I be dead?" Yes.
I suppose there could be many of reasons, including more goblins or bears or large
Mostly
cats.
Bug variety.
Or goblinoid bear-like
Yes.
creatures.
But regardless, I am still glad that you're not dead.
Flander says, that one of those little buggers was around here, and I saw him peeking his head around, those little goblin guys, but he never came back. I saw him shortly after you left, and I didn't see him again.
There were 20 or so in the cave.
Right. Well, I'm glad you're okay. That's what he says to you. All right. You can put most of the supplies on to Colin's wagon, but Colin's wagon's not going to be big enough to carry all of it. So you're gonna have to kind of stack the rest of it on your wagon. It's going to be precarious.
I had a small wagon or a cart as well.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
So you're able to place most of the supplies in Colin's wagon, but some of them you're gonna have to stack on the wagon that you already have filled up with supplies. So it's gonna be a little precarious. At that point, I'll bring up the map of the world that you know, which is a small world. Okay, so I brought the map up, and you can kind of see where you're currently at.
Where are we currently at?
I will. You are right here.
Okay. So if we go south back to the kind of that side path off, and then we can head south and take that southern road to Phandalin.
Is there another one for Cragmaw Castle?
Let me see. Well, there might be, but where that is, you're not sure.
We're on the Triboar Trail.
Triboar Trail. All right. So but technically speaking, right now you're right here. You've
Okay.
managed to come down you crossed through these woods, and you came out the other side up the hill, and now you are returning. So you're about 4 or 5 miles up the Triboar Trail. You can make your way, but half the day is gone already.
Let me ask you, did we manage to get all of this cargo out?
Yes, because you had a wagon, you were able to
Wagons?
get a small cart that you had. You're able to get all of the goods out, but the oxen that that are hauling and your
Pony.
are going to be very heavily weighted down. So you're going to be moving very slow.
That's fine.
So we already talked about this castle and not necessarily knowing where it is, but as a researcher, Gashar is, whenever I'm attempting to learn or recall a piece of lore, if I do not know that information, I often know where and from whom I could obtain it. It could come from a library, scriptorium, university, sage, other learned person or creature. Of course, DM rules,
Wikipedia?
rulings apply, right?
Yeah, I would say.
So I'm wondering if I would know where I could at least find out where this castle would be.
Well, if you recall, Sildar had inferred that you might be able to find out from the locals in Phandalin. because
Excellent.
it was most likely probably not officially named the castle. It was probably
Cragmaw
something
Castle?
else. Right. So
Probably not.
you're probably, or at least maybe that's what the goblins called it, but they probably wouldn't have called it that. So you probably want to figure out where maybe the ruins are, or where maybe it's a real castle.
Could be.
Your assumption that's a cave or ruins, it might not be that at all.
So Gashar is gung ho then on going to Phandalin right away as soon as we can, and going and asking about this, where there might be a castle nearby or something that looks like a castle.
All right, you're going to travel that way. Anybody else going to want to do anything else before you head out toward Phandalin? If you wanted to go a different route,
I'd like to do one thing. My my cart is pulled by a horse, pony.
I believe I think you said it was a mule.
Okay, mule.
Named Bessie.
Bessie, and I'm going to make sure she's okay. She's been fed and watered.
Yeah, it looks like your mule has been well taken care of.
Okay, I'll make sure, and then I assume that she has to be hooked back up to the cart, and I'll
Right.
hook her back up.
It's the same with the ox. The oxen will have to be hooked back up. The carts are very heavy to move as you're trying to position them and trying to get the animals in place. Takes you a while to get them back hooked up.
Okay,
You had to put like the oxen, they have like those things, those yokes that's
sure.
put them back on. You have to get all of your mule needs to get all of its straps put on around its chest. You're able to do that. What are you going to do now that you see that the day is getting older, but it's not necessarily late.
Okay.
It's in the summertime and it stays light for quite a while. So you think it's later in the day, but it's definitely not long shadows. You notice that it did stop raining.
Do we know, just based on the fact that we're on the Triboar Trail now, do we know how much further it should be to Phandalin? Do we know if there's a chance we could make it there by nightfall?
So if you look at the map that was given to you by Gundren, you think it's supposedly within a half a day's travel. But why don't you give me a survival check?
Sure. Mine's a -1. I got a 10.
You're not sure. It looks like you feel confident that you could make it.
Yeah, I say let's go.
I am not
Faster we
afraid
get
of
to
the dark.
Faster we get to Phandalin, the faster we can unload all this heavy stuff.
Are the roads slick at all?
They're a little bit wet, a little bit full of ruts and soft, but you don't think you're going to slide all over the place, but you may find patches where it's a little bit more difficult to get traction until the sun dries it out. Usually the sun will dry out a road within an hour or two after a light rain like this. But you're going to have puddles probably for several hours.
Gashar thinks for a second and says, yes, we just must watch for the soft spots on the road. Got a really good wisdom roll.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should leave as post haste. Let us travel to Phandalin. Someone there will know where this castle is.
All right.
You make haste to begin your journey in the late afternoon down the Triboar Trail. All right. Give me just a general census of how you're positioned as you're walking.
Walking.
I
am riding on the cart.
Okay. Well, I did not mean to think that you wouldn't be.
Phineas will be walking kind of alongside the horses. He's kind of
Yeah,
paying
Hemo
attention to
probably had to give up his seat for more cargo space anyways. He'll go ahead.
I'll walk ahead with Hemo.
Weef is a little thing. She fits anywhere.
I need to check for the random encounter chart.
Colin will basically have his cart last,
Okay.
and he'll steer Bessie as best he can.
Waif, will you please watch the rear so that we do not get attacked? from behind. Since you were on the cart.
But of course.
All right. You travel until the sun sets. The sun goes down. It begins to fade. You have maybe 20 minutes of light left over, and you still haven't reached the turnoff that would lead you south into where you believe Phandalin might be. You think that these extra weight that you're carrying on this cart is dragging you down by quite a bit. The oxen appear to be fatigued, and so they seem to be moving slower and slower and slower, and you don't know exactly where it is. The turnoff to Phandalin should be soon, but you're coming up on darkness. It will be determined if you want to continue through the darkness and get to Phandalin in the middle of the night, or if you want to stop.
I don't know if we need to push these poor oxen any further. I mean, I can see in the dark, but these guys can't.
Probably just as good to pull off to the side of the road and find an area that we can maybe, park the cart in
Sure.
the
These are very tall grasses here. You don't see anywhere in the immediate area that you're in of any trees or any clumps of trees.
Okay.
It seems to be very sparse in this area. So if you went in the dark, you can see, if you look way to the north, you can see some trees, but they're miles off.
Okay.
You're not sure if you want to travel all that way, but it might be worth it if you want to get under safety, and assuming you might want to avoid any random encounters. What do you guys think you want to do?
The animals are tired. We should
Yeah, I see no reason we can't just pull off to the side here and build a campfire.
Fire?
Set
Wait,
some
look.
watches, maybe. There's definitely.
Wave
not-
looks at the grassland around us. How flammable is it?
You went a little silent on us.
Is
What
that
did you
okay?
say?
How flammable is it?
We are in the middle of grasslands. How flammable is it around us?
It just
Just
rained.
wondering. Just rained? Okay. I don't care. Do whatever.
I'll sleep a little further away from Waif then. I'll scooch my bedroll. Maybe I'll sleep up on top of the cart or something.
Okay. You managed to pull off to the side. Are you going to pull off to the north of the road or to the south of the road?
Well, probably to the south. If we get lost somehow, we'll at least run into the road to Phandalin.
Sure. So you managed to pull off to the south. How far off the road are you going to be off the road? It's grassland. So once you pull off, it's going to be more difficult terrain to pull the cart through. But you're able to, so you can just stop like within 10 feet off the road, or you can go farther.
Hemo wants to pull the cart until it's about 50 feet.
All right.
50 feet off the road, and then he goes, yeah, it's probably good.
All right. And then you're going to build a fire.
Maybe not build a fire.
Anybody else going to decide to build a fire? Okay. All right. You managed to get yourself together. You sit around, have a late meal. Anything you're going to do around the campfire, around the lack of campfire, where you're all sitting around the cart in the dark of night.
You said it's summer, so it's probably pretty warm.
It is, and there are insects around, so you kind of have your share of flies and type of creatures that might want to suck your blood a little bit at night.
And creepy whispers.
Pull open a bottle that I took from the cave that we were just in, and take a swig and pass it around for everybody to partake in, and then I'll proceed to ask people what's their favorite bugs. I have heard of very large ones that will fly, and they sometimes run into your head. This sounds interesting to me. What is your favorite bug?
Well, there's these beetles you can get in the markets down in the Dragon Coast. Biggest, shiniest, roundest beetles you ever seen. I did a juggling performance with them once. As long as they didn't fly away, they were cut
does
to
it
life
taste
just
like?
great. I don't. Do you eat your performance equipment often?
No, I don't think I would do that. Do you?
No, I'm not gonna eat my juggling balls. I wouldn't have a show then.
Oh, I was confused why you said you would do that.
So you do not swallow balls. Good to know.
No, no. Is this some kind of, this must be a different kind of performance. I don't think they taught that at High Elf juggling school.
You weren't high enough today.
High Elven Clown Academy or whatever.
You weren't high enough to get to that part of the academy.
Nope. Apparently
You
not.
drink enough of this wine he's passing around. You might be though. Is anybody not drinking wine?
I will not drink wine.
All right. Well, you're
I'll
probably
probably pass on it too.
okay. Well, the rest of you drink some fine
I'll
wine.
drink yours. I took a very hard hit to the head today. I could use some.
It's
Yes,
very,
very good idea. Drink while you're concussed. Good.
It's fine. I don't sleep. I just trance. If
Nice.
I'm not going to sleep, I don't have to worry about being concussed. It's fine.
all right. You settle down for the night. You enjoy the bottle. It's very good. Tastes great. It's actually, for those of you who partake, it's kind of it's a little drier than you probably would want it to be, but it's actually nice. It's kind of, it still feels a little bit refreshing. It's good enough.
Klarg seemed like the kind of guy who would hate on sweet wines just because
Yeah.
they're not masculine enough.
yeah. He gets triggered by sweet wines. I don't know if that's
He
true.
might like sweeter wines, but he doesn't try them because they're girly.
Yeah, I could see if that's be the case. All right. With that, I'm going to now reward Waif with inspiration for both the cool way in which Waif had taken out Klarg and also used her potions to save the party. So Waif, you're going to get inspiration for that, and you can use that one time to get advantage on any one roll that you want. You can bring that up anytime you want. Cool.
And I can use that on someone else's as well.
You can. Yep. You can choose to use that on someone else's roll. You can any roll on the table. You can also give me advantage if you want. If you have one of my people do one have advantage. Klarg could have used it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So it's his loss though. So I'm just saying. But yeah, so there you go.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. Now the rest of you settle down for the night. I'm assuming you're gonna do some watches.
In case you didn't, Yashar is
offer to
fairly
take-
awkward during the chat, during our conversation at our evening here.
Okay.
So that's what I was trying to go for there.
Yeah, you awkwardly interrupted.
Yes.
No.
What were you
that's-
saying now? Please finish your sentence.
I was just saying I was gonna take second watch.
Okay.
I'm gonna go have a trance.
All right. Waif,
We'll
what
be
watch
back
you
in
doing?
4 hours.
I will take third watch.
All right. Finis?
Nobody's claimed first watch yet. Oh,
I will
No,
take
it's
first
fine.
watch.
You do first? He just claimed it.
Hemo goes, oh, thank God, and goes off to bed.
All right.
I
He's
thought
got his
he
bottle of
didn't
wine.
sleep.
That's plenty of that's okay. And I
Well,
take-
I guess he does a trance on like a mat instead of a bedroll.
Sure.
It says, well, if we got watches covered, I'm gonna try to commune a bit, reflect on the last day. It didn't go as I thought, and then he's gonna like climb up a tree and face plant, pass out.
Remember, the closest tree was a couple miles away.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
this
it's
is
a
just
open
this is
grassland.
just grasslands
That's right.
here. You can lean up against the cart though.
Sure.
All right.
Gonna try to just
Wave
jump
crawls
off.
under a cart.
Poof.
Yeah.
and
Your
also
leaning
hide.
was the straw that broke the cart's back and it just crumbles it. No, excuse me.
On the way.
just on the way. He's like, so the two of you drift off to sleep, and I assume Colin is also going
Yeah,
to sleep.
Colin will go to sleep. He'll make sure to unhook his horse and, you know, put a feed bag on her and make sure she's
Right.
got plenty of water.
In the meantime, Gashar, you're up.
Yes.
You hear in the distance up the road.
Well, he's on patrol.
Yes, which is going to be technically east up the road, but a little more northeast up the road. You hear voices. You hear at
Voices
first
carry.
faint voice, and they seem to be doing some kind of a chant or some type of a repeatable thing. And then every once in a while you hear this kind of like vague laughter.
Does it sound like chug, 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 chug? Because
Nope.
I've lived in college towns.
Nope. Now it doesn't
Okay.
sound like that, and that's not what you're dreaming about as you're in your trance.
Does it sound like call and response sort of thing, or does it sound like
Give me
I'm picturing like, you know, like recruits and like in like the army where they're like running and they kind of like repeat. They just chant. They sing together, kind of.
sure. Why don't you give me? I'm gonna say insight. We'll call that insight.
Alrighty,
I don't know what I've been told.
that
You're not sure, but you hear it in the distance.
I will remain very quiet. I'll do a stealth over here. With
All
my
right.
14, and I will while I'm being very quiet, I will try to move towards the road from the away from our very dark little campsite.
Yep. Everybody's in a darkness, and you slip through the tall grasses. And the grasses here are pretty tall. They're anywhere from 2 to 4 feet tall.
I'll only go about 20 feet away from our site.
So you go swishing through the grasses,
know if
kind
I'll
of
stop.
sliding through and stop. And you can see in the distance that it's dark because you don't have anything way to see.
No dark vision.
Yeah, but you hear the
Any
voices.
moonlight, starlight tonight.
There's not really a lot. It's a little cloudy still from the rain. So you're not really seeing anything in the moonlight. It looks pretty dark, but you hear voices coming ahead, and you hear them up someone you hear someone yelling and crawling out, and you hear somebody chanting, "Leave the bodies on the floor, leave the bodies on the floor. Grunts will try for more, so leave the bodies on the floor." And the other ones start chanting back, "Leave the bodies on the floor,
some
leave
common.
the bodies on the floor." Yeah, they're and you hear this.
They're making a music video.
And they seem to be marching. You can hear the footsteps kind of like in a march, and they're laughing. And then every once in a while they break into a laugh, and they'd say some kind of an odd thing, such as "Yes, we'll destroy them all ahead. Bring forth the supplies. Yes, I cannot wait. Soon they will taste our venom."
Yes, staying very still here and just listening. And so they're coming down the road, basically.
You think they're coming down the road towards you.
Towards me.
Yeah,
They haven't gotten past me at that point.
yeah,
I will also then crouch down further. So I mean, you said it's taller grasses, right?
yes.
So I'll crouch down even as well and try to stay even.
We'll do
visibly hidden
the
as well.
signature Allen move.
Yes, I want to listen as much as I can.
All right, you're listening to them, and you hear these footsteps moving, and as they get closer, you hear more and more apparent that there's a heavy cart involved. So at first you hear them, but now as it's getting closer, you think it's
Hear a little bit of
within maybe 30 feet of you. You
I'd
hear
be about 30 feet from the road at that point.
yeah,
so.
you hear the kind of like the occasional creaks of wagon wheels. There's several of them as they get louder and louder and louder, and they come real close to you. And you hear the voices call out, "Ah, yes, we will have many women when we return. The females will be plenty. Yeah, Grumsh will be so proud."
Ooh, I recognize a name, eh? Right here, a name, anyways.
Yes,
You said Grunch,
Grumsh.
Grumpsh.
Yes,
That is not King Grohl.
no.
Grumsh will be very proud.
Do you have any type of skills? You can give me maybe give me a religious skill.
He is a I just had this a second ago. A researcher. And so his
Yes.
background is a little bit more on the wizarding side.
Sure.
I think he was at a wizarding school.
Excellent.
But
does he have any?
I do have religion.
Sure.
I was going to say,
Give
I
me a
think,
roll.
yeah, a little bit of history as well.
Yeah, well, we'll start with religion and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Hmm,
Here we go.
geez.
Natural 20. for a
Natural
22.
20. Way to go. You know that Grumsh is the one-eyed god, the god that was the patron god of all the orc races and a greater god of the orc pantheon. He who never sleeps, for he was said to never tire, and symbolized with an ever open eye to represent the orc belief that he watched over them, judging the worth of each and every one of their kind.
Orcs. I think I've come to the conclusion that these are very likely orcs on the road.
Well, I mean, if you reach far enough, they could be anything.
All right. So
They roll past you,
Mhm.
and they keep moving, and they sort of chant, and they stop chanting and they begin chanting something else. This time they start bellowing out in a language that you do not understand. What languages do you speak?
Is there any indication that I might be able to get from an insightful standpoint of where they might be heading?
Well, you know they're heading from the east to the west.
I also know that if they just keep going that way, they'll end up in the ocean. That sounds great.
Yes.
But I presume they might turn at some point here.
Yeah, you think that you are way away from where the Triboar Trail meets the high road, so you're not sure. It's going to take them a good part of
But
it.
the as far as what they're talking about, I guess is what I meant. Do I hear them saying anything else about like
Sure.
a city or those humans, dang humans, or that sort of thing?
Sure.
In
You do
language,
hear them. You basically hear them talking about the great retaking, the great claim. They're talking about the great claim or the great retaking, and they keep talking in these heroic, grand terms, but they don't give any details of what that means. And they're all very excited about this.
Gotcha. Well, I'm very curious about that. I might have some insight into that, having been in the schools for a while.
Sure.
So can I do a
Go
knowledge
ahead.
check on that? Do you want religion or history on that?
Give me a history.
Okay. And then you asked me what languages I got, and it's Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Infernal.
Okay. None of these are the languages that were being spoke.
Now I got an 11 for you on history.
All right. The history was very recent. It was earlier today. So you know that Sildar had said that the Wave Echo Caves were taken over and invaded by orcs. And because of that, they were collapsed.
Right. And he found the map.
And Phandalin, at the time, was also overrun and destroyed by orcs. And this was many, many years ago. So that's the only thing you know of that may just simply be coincidence. Whether they're going to try to retake the land again now that Phandalin's been reclaimed, or they can simply be talking about something completely different. You're not sure.
Fair. All right. So the orcs had taken over the Echo Caves, but Gundren found a map to the lost entrance.
Well, you think that he found the map to the entrance. Now, was that entrance collapsed on, and they have to dig it out, or did he find another entrance? You're not sure because you don't have the map.
Right.
But you know that he believes he knows the location of Wave Echo Cave. What that means,
I see.
You're not sure.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for them to continue on their way, so they're out of earshot, and they won't be able to hear me moving, hopefully. And then I will return back to the camp.
All right. You return back to the camp, easy enough. And the rest of your watch, goes uneventful after that. The rest of you go through your.
Oh, one other question.
Sure.
Can I get an idea of how many individual pairs of feet I might have heard?
You think between 8 and 12.
Okay.
Yeah, more than 8, but probably not more than 12.
Got it. Thank you.
The rest of your watch goes uneventful, and the rest of the night goes uneventful. Dawn, lifts over the prairie. It's a beautiful morning. It's a bright morning, bright sunny morning, and you're almost unable to sleep in because it's so bright out, except for Waif, who's underneath the wagon and doesn't even realize that the day has arrived.
Actually, I had third watch, so
Oh,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thanks for reminding me.
You
So
slept
wait,
through third watch.
so Waif kind of wakes everybody up, but everybody else is already stirring as she starts waking everybody up.
Did anybody else awake to the orcs that traveled by during my watch?
Hemo goes, the what? I didn't see anything.
I think there was an
There were
orcish war
orcs?
party. They sounded violent, and they were heading west.
Hmm.
They were talking about Grumsh, who, as we all know, is the one-eyed orcish god, the patron god of all the orc races. He who never sleeps, for he never tires.
Yeah, he's got like 50 other nicknames.
Hmm.
Yeah, the orc one. That's
Yeah.
they weren't. They didn't seem like they were looking for us, did they?
I did not get that impression. They had carts, however. They were talking about the great claim or the great retakening.
Hmm.
I believe we may have
Well,
more answers to this in Phandalin as well.
I'm sure. Seems like seems with their history, Phandalin would have to be pretty worried about orcs still. I'm sure they know something about them.
All right.
So do we go after them?
After the orcs? Heck no, I don't want to fight an orc. Have you seen orcs?
Not lately.
They're huge.
I am huge.
he's like, that is not our purpose.
Okay.
That is not what we are here to do.
I mean, what are they gonna do? They get to Neverwinter, the guards rain them with arrows, and they go running off.
Maybe they were there to retake some more arrows.
If they want them, they'll have them.
Okay. With that, are you guys gonna get back on the road and head down and toward Phandalin?
So
Yeah.
we get our, just real quick, some bookkeeping. We get our spell slots back. We get half of our hit dice back.
Yep,
Right, correct? Is that correct?
correct. So you get one hit dice back for if you
Yep.
use both of them. I believe, Wait, you only used one though, right?
No, I used to.
Okay,
Wait, did you say do we get hit points back or no?
you get all your hit points back.
Okay, perfect.
But you get your hit dice.
You get half
Half
of your
your hit dice. So I only
You
used
can
one,
still-
so I'm back up to 2 now.
Good.
And I get my key points back, right? I'll double check that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. So is there any question about a long rest, what you do or don't get? Pretty much it's a reset for the most part.
Hit dice
Except for your
back is
points.
all.
All right. Anything more you're gonna do this morning? You wake up, you're hungry. There's plenty of supplies on the cart to eat. You may have to eat some hardtack unless you have something. All right, you managed to get the oxen are still there. They're not moving. They weren't moving. The mule is still there. Bessie's not moving. You're able to get back on that horse and get back on the trail. I'm assuming you're moving back onto the road.
Yeah, gotta drag the carts a little bit to get it over all this grass, but
Yeah, it's a little minor effort, a little inconvenience, 10 minutes to get back on the road and get yourself set up, ready to go. You have to kind of give a little, maybe help get the wheels rocking a little bit to get them moving in the tall grass. And then it's easy after that. They pull them right out. They pull everything right out of the road onto the road. You spill out on the road and start heading down. It's about an hour till you see the road that heads south. And there's a sign tacked up that literally says Phandalin in a etched sign that is pointing to the south.
As we kind of get going, Colin casts Mage on armor on himself, so
Okay.
he's kind of protected.
Why don't you everybody give me a spot roll? Give me a perception roll. Yes.
Ooh,
That's a natural 20. Or a total
17.
of 25.
20.
All right. Finis. As you're going by, you see a sign that is laying on the ground that has been ripped off and is aged quite a lot, many years aged. And it seems to be, you're not sure where it was pointed, but it's an arrow and it says Connieberry.
Connieberry?
Yeah.
Are there any do we see the road start to split off kind of further down at all, or?
No, you don't. You see, you're basically at a T intersection and you're heading south. The road continues on to the east and looks like it might have been pointing to something called Connieberry, but that sign has been ripped off now and lays in the ground weathering.
Can we use a knowledge history on
Sure,
that?
go for it.
I don't know if there's geography anymore. Is that basically
I think
history?
it's knowledge history, but
Yeah. Kind of what I was going for. 14. Unless anybody wants to help. Or vice versa.
Um, I've got some pretty good historical knowledge. I'm 170 years old.
Whoa.
Did anything? I got a 15.
all right. Well, that'll be enough. Actually, for some
Was-
reason, Hemo happens to know that the town of Connieberry was sacked by barbarians years ago and now lies in ruins. It lies down the path quite a couple, about 2 days travel down the path. So when you mention Connieberry, he happens to randomly know that fact.
Yeah.
How many years
Connieberry,
back?
they used to call it Connieberry, and then they don't call it anything anymore. Got completely destroyed by barbarians.
This
And it
road,
goes-
No, it's not a berry.
this road that you're on used to be called the Connie Trail. But now it's called,
Yeah, now there's no more Connieberry. Now there's just pigs, I guess.
3 of them.
Only 3. Only 3 pigs on the trail.
so I'm assuming that you're going to be then riding on a Phandalin.
Yep.
Right on the Phandalin.
Nobody wants to go to Connieberry?
We
So
don't
there's
go
a
to
trail-
Connieberry anymore.
There's a trail to Connieberry.
We don't
Well,
know.
I think that's just
this
further
road-
down the
you look-
Triboar Trail,
You look at the
right?
map here, see this road
Uh-huh.
continues on. That most likely
That's-
takes you to Connieberry.
The Triboar Trail.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's what you're
Okay.
guessing from the sign that's been ripped off and thrown onto the ground. Because this way will lead you to Phandalin, you know that. And there's only 2 options.
To Phandalin.
All right. You take the road down south. It takes you about half a day to get down there. Your wagon is heavily weighed down by your supplies, slowing you down immensely. You can see that the rutted tracks from the rain emerge from a wooded hillside, and you catch your first glimpse of Phandalin. The town consists of 40 or 50 simple log buildings, some built on old fieldstone foundations. More old ruins, crumbled stone walls covered in ivy and briar surround the newer houses and shops, showing how this must have been a much larger town in centuries past. Most of the newer buildings are set on the side of the cart track, which widens into a muddy main street of sorts as it climbs toward a ruined manor house on the hillside at the east side of town. As you approach, you see children playing on the town green and townsfolk tending to chores or running errands at shops. Many people look upon you, but then return to their business as you go by. And I'll show you what that looks like.
Are there any goblins
You can give me a check.
or bugbears?
Yeah, give me a check.
You got it. 13.
There are no apparent bugbears or goblins. But let me show you the map.
This might not be the castle then.
No.
Well, just because you can't see them doesn't mean the goblins aren't there.
Touche.
Trust me, Emo says.
They're crafty little fuckers. And where were we supposed to go with this stuff?
Supposed to meet Gundren, right? Where was he supposed to meet us?
I'll tell you in a second here. I'm just going to set this map up correctly.
Barthen's Provisions.
Dang it, I just got there in my notes. Yep, that's what I have.
All right. So yeah, you're supposed to take these supplies to Barthen's Provisions. You can come in the town. You're coming in the northern side of the town right here. You can see it in your map right here. This is to the Triboar Trail right here. And you come rolling in. As you get to right here at the very beginning, you can see that the Triboar Trail is coming in right there. As you get right here, you're coming down. You see a man, and he's kind of walking out, and he seems to be, he has a leather jerkin on and a floppy hat, and he seems to be standing on the side of the road, sort of almost strangely just standing there. And as you walk up, he looks over at you and he says, "Oh, what have we here?" He kind of smiles at you.
I suppose, Hemo, you and I are probably the first ones there as we were walking in front.
Yeah. You don't look like Gundren.
Did you say that to the man?
Yeah. Hemo just like kind of gets tall and big at him and goes, "You don't look like Gundren."
He tilts his head and he says, "I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. I am simply just watching you go by. I'm just minding my own business, but you look like you have quite the haul. Where did you get that from?"
Hemo puts his hands on his scimitar, on the hilts of his scimitars, and says, "We got it from where we got it, and we're bringing it to where we're bringing it."
All right, you see the man take a step back and put his hands up. He goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Listen, my friend, I mean, you know ill will. I was just being friendly. You seem to roll in the town. You probably haven't seen a friendly face in a while. This is a friendly face."
Is it a friendly face? If I study his friendly face very
Give me an insight roll.
carefully. Is it a friendly face? Not that insightful. Did it roll?
What'd you get?
I got a 12.
All right.
No, I got a 5. Nate got a 12.
That's correct.
All right. Well, you think he's a stand-up friendly guy, and you might even want to make him, you might even get up to join you for a meal in town. He's a nice person. This is the first nice person you've seen in a while.
How about me?
How bad could he be?
You're not too sure about this guy. You think that it's strange that he happened to be standing on the side of the road and he's so overly friendly in this strange provincial town.
I'm going to just kind of look off and just kind of check the edges of the, dare I say, kind of we're not in the village yet.
You're just coming in. So if you
Okay.
see, you're kind of like right here on the very edges coming in.
Okay. So like there's other houses and there's some trees, maybe some tall
There
grasses.
is.
I'm just looking to see if he's got, friends. He doesn't seem to be armed and have any weapons or anything like that, but
He doesn't. He you have no visible weapons on him. He seems to have like a scroll case in his hand, I should say more accurately. He has like a leather jerkin. He's got like a floppy hat, and it's very possible that he has a dagger or dirk at his back, because you can't quite see at his
Sure.
back, but it's 50-50 whether he has one or not. You're not
Right.
sure.
Well, friend, you are correct. We were attacked on the road. In fact, you do seem to be a friendly face, whereas the attackers were not very friendly.
There you go. So what do you got in the
Do you know
hall
of
there?
Gundren? I sort of interrupt him. Do you know who Gundren is? Rock Seeker. He's a dwarf. About yay tall.
About dwarf height.
Rock Seeker. No, I don't. But
He has 2 dwarven brothers.
okay.
They are all siblings.
Well,
They should be
no,
here.
yeah, no. If they were his brothers, they'd definitely be dwarves.
All right.
Yes.
Why don't you give me another insight roll? What'd you get?
14.
When he says, I've never heard of them, you think he might not be telling you the truth.
I step closer to them. Sit to him. Take another step closer. No, I mean Gundren. Rock Keeper. Rock Seeker, I said. Rock
I get
Seeker,
Seeker.
not Rock
It's
Keeper.
I get it.
You might have
Maybe
confused
hard-
him with
No,
Rock
I'll
Seeker.
even say that. Like,
Yeah.
no, I meant Rock Seeker. Gundren Rock Seeker.
He looks at you and goes, why don't you guys just move along? It's all right. And you see he's kind of looking past you. He's more looking at what's on the cart.
Hmm.
Like he's talking to you, but his eyes kind of like eyeing the goods that are on your cart.
Have you seen an imp before?
No.
This big. Sharp
He looks at you.
It stabs you in the neck.
No.
from behind.
And
I
you don't
look
have
behind them.
you can make me another roll.
Insight.
Yeah.
That one's a 10.
You think he's telling the truth.
I look behind them. Sometimes they sneak up from behind. You should watch out. I got stabbed in the back of the neck.
I think you may need some better friends, but you be on your way then. Where you guys staying in town?
Could you direct us to Barthen's Provisions, please?
No, don't.
Barthen's Provisions. Well, sure, I can direct you there. Toss me a reasonable coin, and I'll send you right in the right direction.
He reaches into his pouch and he grabs out a couple of silver, actually, and just here.
All right, you're gonna hand him some silver,
Yeah, it's probably like 4 silver.
right? He's like, thank you. He's like,
So Waif jumps down off the cart and, she's demonic looking and
yep.
she has a slight air of hostility about her. And
And that
she
magical
starts-
weird stuff happens around her occasionally,
Oh
right?
yeah. You hear whispers and stuff around her right now. And she strides towards this guy slowly, deliberately, locking eyes with him with her
Okay.
dead black eyes.
Hemo just like backs up out of the way.
All right. As he's holding the silver in his hand, and you can see he kind of like he was kind of like playing with it, but he kind of stops as you kind of approach him, and you're much shorter than he is.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
What are you
But-
gonna do?
I'll let the flames flicker on my hands and things and just basically
Look threatening.
yeah. If I do not see you in anything but a, shall we say, mercantile situation, it will not go well for you.
Give me an intimidate roll.
15.
Yeah, he looks down. He looks over at you, and he tries to turn his eyes away from the demon child, and says, Barthen's Provisions. It's right down there, and he points down the road.
Thank you. And she saunters off.
He kind of steps off the path, and he looks at the silver, and he looks at the rest of you.
I was gonna say as she turns, her tail slaps the silver out of his hand.
You can do that. All right, just give me a basic to hit roll. See if you're able to do that.
Oh, come on now.
What'd you hit?
16.
Yeah, your tail comes around and slaps him right in the hand, and he goes. You see, he has to scramble through the taller grasses to try to find them. I assume you're moving on.
Yeah,
toward
let's just
provisions?
leave him there looking for silver in the grass.
I'll say, wow, you
Yep.
hit it right in the hand.
Noticing that
Did
this
I?
community looks like I'm seeing like the walls that were around it are damaged. Looking up on the hill, which we could probably see from this angle, it
Yep.
looks like the building there is damaged. Looks like there's a few buildings that are kind of like rutted out and the whole thing. Does all this look recent, or does some of this look really old? Or
This
First
must
of all,
have been,
I will ask you to give me a history roll.
okay.
this must have had something to do with the dwarf attacks decades ago, right?
It was a long time ago.
Not the
but I
dwarf
spoke
attacks.
when I
the,
said that, so I wanted to. I tried to backtrack it. So if I gave
Orc
you one
ones.
impression, I apologize.
Oh, there wasn't an orc
No,
raid on.
my
Oh, there was an
dates-
orc raid on the other city. 50
Yeah,
years
my
ago.
orc, my dates were a little. I mentioned that was a couple decades ago, but it was quite a bit longer than that.
I got a
I
16.
apologize. All right, Dave. Colin knows that from what you had known from your history and what Sildar had said, that more than 500 years ago, clans of dwarves and gnomes made an agreement known as the Phandelver Pact. And that was the pact that they used to by which they shared rich mines in the wondrous caverns known as the Wayback Caves. Now you know this because Sildar had just told you this. However, everything was going well, except at that sometime shortly after they had made the pact, a powerful force of orcs, reinforced by evil mercenaries, wizards, attacked the Wayback Caves and tried to seize the riches and the magic treasure of the spell forge. They had ended up collapsing the entrance in trying to hide or keep the Wayback Caves from being found. And after that, the Wayback Caves were lost to time. Some the people who knew where it was drifted away, and Phandalin fell into ruin when the orcs raided. A lot of these remnants of these buildings here are from those many years ago
Okay.
that were burnt out. Now, what has happened is 3 or 4 years ago, Phandalin was reclaimed by the North. And so you saw that Neverwinter had sent people down from the North and slowly have been building it up.
Okay.
There are many mines here that are just random mines of metals, golds, platinums, gems, things like that.
Okay.
And so they've been building it up to build up that town. So the newer buildings that you see more toward the center of the log buildings are most likely built from the new arrivals in the last 4 years.
Okay. But some of the old stuff that we're seeing, like the walls and stuff, 50 years.
Or more. You
Or
think
more.
that this happened maybe even hundreds of years ago at some
Okay.
places. They look pretty worn. You
Right.
can.
Okay.
All right. What are you guys gonna do? Gonna head down to Barthen's?
Yeah.
All right. Your cart rolls down to Barthen's. It's easy to find because it's right at the bottom of the hill.
As we're walking away from this fella,
Yeah.
What did he say his name was?
I was saying, I asked him what
He
his name was.
didn't.
You didn't ask him what his name was.
Oh, I stopped, and that's what I do. I ask him what his name is as the cart's rolling by.
Yeah. He doesn't. He finally finds his 2 silver, and you see he darts as fast as he can this way. Can you see it? I'm gonna be on the right level. Sorry. This way. He kind of runs straight that way.
Oh,
Okay.
You see him just like he goes. He's at a bold ass run.
as he starts running away from me, I say, "Have you seen any orcs lately? There are
Alright.
some on the trail.
He doesn't say anything to you. He just runs as fast as he can.
Maybe
Alright.
I'll warn someone else."
Was it something I said?
I think it
I
was.
think it was
Yes.
the whole. Yeah, it was something you said.
Okay. Let us.
Some people are so sensitive. I don't understand.
All right. And with that, as you roll up to Barthen's Provisions, as you enter into Phandalin for the first time, we're going to stop here and regroup in 2 weeks, because we'll be taking most likely next week off because of the 4th of July weekend. So we record them always 1 week early. So if you're looking for us, we'll be 2 weeks out from after you watch this video. So for the first time, hope everybody is liking and more importantly, subscribe, please. That really helps us out.
You don't have to like it. If you hate it and also subscribe, that
And
does
actually-
help us still.
And have the people you dislike subscribe to. Just have them
Yeah.
all.
Get notified to when you should show up and dislike our videos. Please click the bell.
Yeah, you can actually a great 4th of July gift is a subscription from our channel. I hear. Yeah, we're
Costs you absolutely nothing.
yeah.
The best nothing you'll ever spend.
So yeah, have a beer, shoot off some fireworks, watch our show. So it's a great time. So if also I'll remind you that the link below is for the donations for the Autism Center. So if you get a chance, you'll go out and help them out. I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it. I know we're gonna give them a little bit of something. So hopefully, if you want to help us out, hit us a like, hit us subscribe, and maybe hit that link or find out the information below. Other than that,
Happy
we'll
4th
come.
of July.
Yeah, happy 4th of July. Hey, congratulations to Colin for making it to level 2. Congratulations to
Ding.
everybody else for defeating Klarg.
And not dying.
That guy was a jerk, right? Congratulations to Wade for getting inspiration for her awesome ending, and also her ability to be selfless in a time of need for the party. So, all right, I'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.